Hey everyone, welcome to 59 Tops Friday, presented by Wax Pack Wisdom, where we talk baseball history through the cards we love. My name is Jake T. O'Donnell. We built the iconic 1959 Topps baseball set, and in this series, we're going through every card to talk about the players, teams, and people who made up Major League Baseball in 1959. Today, we'll cover cards 380 through 386 in the set. Card number 380 belongs to Hank Aaron of the Milwaukee Braves. 1959 was his sixth season in Major League Baseball. Henry Louis Aaron did not love the spotlight, but because of his immense talent swinging a baseball bat, the spotlight was unavoidable. When all was said and done, at the end of a 23-year MLB career, Aaron owned the most celebrated record in North American sports. He was the all-time home run king. He held numerous other records, and it could be reasonably argued that he had the greatest career of any hitter in the sport's history. And while he may not have loved the spotlight, everything about the baseball life of Hammerin Hank Aaron is worth celebrating. Born in Mobile, Alabama in 1934, Aaron taught himself how to play baseball as a youth, and when he began in minor league baseball, coaches noted that the young right-handed hitter would place his left hand above his right hand on the bat. This was corrected, but his unorthodox beginning is sometimes believed to have contributed to the lightning-quick wrists that would eventually make baseball history. He hit this way while playing in the Negro Leagues as a teenager, winning the 1952 Negro League World Series while he was a member of the Indianapolis Clowns. The Braves signed him that year. He debuted in Milwaukee in 1954. His respectable rookie season earned him a fourth-place finish in NL Rookie of the Year balloting, but 1955 is when he took off. He made the first of his record 24 All-Star appearances and finished top 10 in MVP balloting for the first of 13 times. Aaron won the National League batting title in 1956, and 1957 was perhaps his finest year. He led the National League in homers with 44 and RBIs with 132. He smashed 3 home runs in that year's World Series, beating the Yankees for his only World Series title, and also took home his only career NL MVP award. Year after year, Aaron was the game's most consistent power hitter, averaging 38 homers a year from 1957 through 1973. All the while, Aaron played a great right field, winning 3 Gold Gloves from 1958 through 1960. In 1959, he won the NL batting title at a career high of .355 batting, as well as a .336 slugging percentage and 223 hits, also career highs. As his career continued at a torrid pace through the 1960s, and amidst the Braves franchise move from Milwaukee to Atlanta, Aaron kept hitting milestones, hitting his 500th home run in 1968 and his 3,000th hit in 1970. After he moved into second on the all-time home run list in 1972, attention from fans and media began percolating about if and when Aaron would break Babe Ruth's career home run record of 714. The attention became stifling for Aaron, who finished the 1973 season 2 homers shy of breaking the record. Amidst the pressure on the field itself, Aaron received racist and threatening hate mail just for being a black man attempting to break Ruth's record. Nonetheless, he tied the mark early in the 1974 season. On the night of April 8th, with a national TV audience watching, Aaron launched an Al Downing pitch over the left field fence in Atlanta for his record-breaking 715th home run. More than anything, Aaron expressed relief that the chase was finally over. 1974 would be Aaron's last year with the Braves. He was traded to Milwaukee to play the final 2 seasons of his career with the Brewers, mostly as a designated hitter. He retired after the 1976 season with 755 career home runs. To this day, Aaron still holds several Major League Baseball career records, including the most runs batted in, the most total bases, the most extra base hits, and the most All-Star Game selections. His 3,771 career hits trail only Pete Rose and Ty Cobb in MLB history. And upon his retirement, Aaron was the last Major League Baseball player who had played in the Negro Leagues. Aaron was inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame in 1982. He worked in numerous roles for the Braves after his playing career, including serving as senior vice president. Aaron was awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom in 2002. In 2007, Barry Bonds of the San Francisco Giants broke Aaron's career home run record. Public reaction to Bonds' achievement was mixed, in large part due to allegations of performance-enhancing drug use. Nonetheless, Aaron taped a pre-recorded message that played on the Giants' video board congratulating Bonds the night he broke the record, and in his lifetime, Aaron acknowledged Bonds was the rightful home run king. Aaron continued to be associated with the Braves through the end of his life in 2021. Card number 381 belongs to Mike Baxis of the Kansas City Athletics. 1959 would have been Baxis' third year in the big leagues, but he did not end up playing in the majors that year. Baxis played 2 non-consecutive seasons in the big leagues, both for the A's. He began his baseball career in 1949 after high school and made his major league debut in 1956. Baxis ended his time in the majors with a .217 batting average, 1 home run, and 13 RBI in 146 games. His brother Jim was also a Major League Baseball player at second and third base. Baxis was married for 60 years to the love of his life, Loretta, until she passed away in 2018. Baxis died in 2023 at the age of 92. Card number 382 belongs to Curt Simmons of the Philadelphia Phillies. 1959 was Simmons' 13th year in the big leagues. Simmons was a left-handed pitcher who spread his 20 seasons in the big leagues between the Phillies, Cardinals, Cubs, and Angels, the majority of which would be with the Phillies. Bill Carpenter, the owner of the Phillies in 1947, arranged for an exhibition game between the Phillies and a team of high school all-star students. Simmons started for the high school team and struck out 11 Phillies, the game ending in a 4-4 tie. He was signed with the Phillies shortly thereafter, and he received a $65,000 signing bonus, one of the highest awarded at that time. Simmons was considered one of the twin anchors of the Phillies' whiz kid rotation, along with Hall of Famer Robin Roberts. In 1950, Simmons won 17 of 25 games he pitched in, proving to be instrumental in bringing the Phillies their second National League championship of the 20th century. Simmons was called into active military duty in September 1950 and was ineligible to play in the World Series that year due to his military leave. Without Simmons, the Phillies were swept by the Yankees. Simmons missed the 1951 season due to military service and returned to the Phillies in 1952. Although the Phillies would not make it back to the World Series during Simmons' remaining time with them, which would last until 1960, Simmons was cemented in Phillies history. He was named to the Phillies Wall of Fame for his years of contributions to the team. He was a 3-time All-Star in 1952, 53, and 57. In 59, Simmons suffered a sore arm and was released by the Phillies, who were in a rebuilding phase at the time. Simmons was able to sign with the Cardinals as a free agent. He made a remarkable comeback in 1963 and 1964 seasons, winning 15 and 18 games in those seasons respectively. He was a member of the 1964 World Series champion Cardinals. He ended his major league career in 1967 with a 193 and 183 win-loss record, 3.54 ERA, and 1,697 strikeouts. He died in 2002 at the age of 93. At the time of his death, Simmons was the last living Phillies player from the 1940s and the last living member of the 1950 Phillies National League pennant-winning Whiz Kids. Card number 383 is the next multiplayer card in the 1959 Topps set, Words of Wisdom, featuring Yankees hurler Don Larson and Hall of Fame manager Casey Stengel. Here's what Topps had to say about the duo on the back of the card. The success of a major league manager can often be counted in pennants. Using this yardstick, few managers in the history of baseball have been more successful than the old professor, Charles Dillon Stengel. Since becoming head man of the Yanks in 1949, he has won 9 pennants and 8 World Series championships in 10 years. He was the magic touch to make good hitters better and fine hurlers great. As a player, Casey was an outfielder and saw service with the Dodgers, Pirates, Phils, Giants, and Braves. It is ironic that in 9 years as a manager in the National League, he never finished in the first division. Don Larson is an example of a Stengel-inspired player. With Baltimore in 54, he lost more games than any other hurler in the AL, yet 2 years later, Don pitched a perfect no-hit game in the 1956 World Series. Card number 384 belongs to Dave Sisler of the Boston Red Sox. 1959 was Sisler's 4th year in the big leagues. Sisler was a right-handed pitcher who spread his time in the big leagues between the Red Sox, Tigers, Senators, and Reds. Sisler was the son of Hall of Famer George Sisler. One of his brothers, Dick Sisler, also played in the big leagues, while one of his other brothers, George Sisler Jr., was the general manager of several minor league teams and president of the International League from 1966 to 1967. I guess you could say that baseball ran in his family's blood. As a teen, Dave Sisler worked for his father, who at the time was a coach for the Dodgers. Sisler would keep statistics for his dad. Following his military service in 1954 and 1955, Sisler made his big league debut in 1956 with the Red Sox. He had a solid first season with the Red Sox and was named the Harry Aganis Award winner, voted on by the Boston area sports writers for the top Boston Red Sox rookie annually. Sisler was traded to the Tigers in 1959, where he pitched 32 games as a reliever. In 1960, Sisler was listed as eligible for an expansion draft, and he was selected by the Washington Senators, where he would play one season before being traded to the Reds for his final year. His brother Dick was the first base coach for the team at the time. Dave Sisler ended his major league career with a 38-44 win-loss record, a 4.33 ERA, and 355 strikeouts. Following his baseball career, Sisler worked at an investment firm for more than 30 years. In 2004, the possibility arose that Ichiro Suzuki was going to break Sisler's record of 257 hits in a season. Dave Sisler and one of his sons followed Suzuki's progress through the season. Ultimately, the record was broken that year. Sisler was invited to attend the celebration at Safeco Field, but he was unable due to an emergency medical procedure. He was happy that people were still talking about his father as a baseball player and said that the Mariners were a classy organization for inviting him to the celebration. Sisler died in 2011 at the age of 79. Card number 385 belongs to Sherm Lawler of the Chicago White Sox. 1959 was Lawler's 14th MLB season. The Arkansan Lawler spent his entire 18-year career in the American League, and for much of it, he was one of the junior circuit's best catchers. After working his way through semi-pro leagues, Lawler was named the International League's MVP after a sterling season in 1945, and following that year, he debuted with Cleveland. He got scant playing time there and in his next stop with the Yankees, but Lawler unlocked his potential after a trade to the Browns in 1950, making his first All-Star team that season. The White Sox acquired Lawler ahead of the 1952 season, where he'd spend the rest of his playing career on the South Side. Lawler would earn 8 All-Star selections with the White Sox, finishing in the top 10 of AL MVP balloting twice, and he would also win the first 3 Gold Glove awards ever handed out for catching, as well as helping take the Go-Go White Sox to the American League pennant in 1959. He hit a home run in the World Series against the Dodgers that year. After Lawler's playing career ended in 1963, he spent several years as a major league coach and minor league manager for several organizations. He died after a long battle with cancer in 1977 at the age of 53. Card number 386 belongs to Jim Delsing of the Washington Senators. Delsing did not appear in Major League Baseball in 1959, but his 10-year Major League career came to a close after playing 16 games for the Athletics in 1960. Over that decade in MLB, Delsing appeared for the White Sox, Yankees, Browns, Tigers, and Athletics, mostly as a center fielder. His best seasons came in 1953 and 1954 with Detroit, when he appeared in the same outfield alongside a young Al Kaline. In 822 big league games, Delsing hit .255 with 40 homers and 286 runs batted in. Perhaps the thing in baseball for which Delsing is best remembered was being selected to pinch run for Eddie Goodell, the 3'7" man who drew a walk in his plate appearance for the Browns as part of a publicity stunt in 1951. Following his playing career, Delsing worked in advertising sales for a Catholic newspaper in the St. Louis area for 30 years. He died in 2006. That's going to do it for this edition of 59 Tops Friday on Wax Pack Wisdom. Today's episode was written by Abby O'Donnell and Jake T. O'Donnell. As a programming note, this will be our final episode of 2024. We thank everybody for watching and sticking with us during what was a health-related hiatus earlier this year on this series, and we look forward to finishing it in 2025. Do you have a story about one of the people, players, or teams we discussed today? Let us know in the comments. We'd love to hear it. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any of our Wax Pack Wisdom content. In the video description, you will find our source material for this episode, links to where you can follow us on all social media channels, as well as a list of our favorite nonprofits and charities. Please consider a donation to one of them if you enjoyed this content. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time on Wax Pack Wisdom. Take care.